Take a look at the tail of the tape. We know we got that right. They're both 30 years old. You see the height differential only half an inch. But the reach advantage belonging to Justin Pauldo also at 135. When you look at it, this is Shavkat Rakhimov moving up to this weight class, but he was sucked up. Look at his face. It was a very tough cut. He's going to be the bigger man. Let's get it started. Rakhimov, can he redeem himself? We find out round number 1. In that Joe Cordina fight, he said, I did not lose. I don't consider that a loss.
I watched that fight this afternoon. That was a barn burner.
Oh, great
Back
fight.
and forth action fight.
Interesting thing when you talk about this fight is Cordina's feet kept him in that fight, especially early. Good action, good movement, good angles. Does Pauldo have that kind of style?
No, but at this weight class, you know, we see him. Look how durable and physical and sturdy Pauldo looks at 135. He's one of the most physical 135 pounders out there today. So I'm curious to see how he can deal with that physicality.
One thing I'm seeing about Pauldo to try to avoid the physicality is that he's very busy with that lead hand, touching, using the jab, and just trying to measure with Rakhimov, basically not trying to let him penetrate within that lead hand, sort of using it as a fencing tool and establishing a distance so he's able to get that leverage on those body shots like that.
I like how he's cutting those angles, too. He's using that post with the lead hand and steps around to the outside.
Rakhimov does bring a lot of physical pressure when he fights. Steps in a lot.
Oh!
Good left hook. Tangling the feet. You call that a knockdown?
I think that was a knockdown.
6.
Beautifully timed.
Sometimes with lefty and righty, though. Sometimes lefty righty. We saw something very similar to that last week with the Morel Benavidez fight.
Yes.
Sometimes in opposite stances, it's very weird because the shot comes over the top and then it kind of pushes them down.
That punch landed.
It does. What I'm saying is, does it punch? Does it push you down?
Did it cause the knockdown?
Yeah, because sometimes it winds up behind your neck, and then the force of it just kind of pushes you down.
It looks like you wrung him a bit to me.
Yeah, so that's a referee's call. A lot of referees will call that a slip.
And yeah, it's a shot landing, so it's a kind of a judgment call.
I see it.
We'll see it in the replay. I'm sure the truck grabbed it. We'll get to see if it actually stung Rakhimov or not.
The problem, though, is Rakhimov being a slow starter. You don't want to start down a point. Already in round number 1, scheduled for 10.
And Pauldo's a confidence fighter. If he starts getting that confidence, he'll start letting his hands go a little more, and his talent starts to really show itself more as he goes in confidence.
Pauldo looking real good with that lead hook.
Super sharp. But listen, remember, Rakhimov also went down early in the Joe Cordina fight and then roared back for the next 10 rounds.
Nice counter right hand there from Pauldo.
Oh, good body shot, too. Very, very sharp work from Pauldo here. Doing a good job of fighting in that mid-range, keeping those counters sharp.
But, gentlemen, if you thought Pauldo's confidence was bluster, we're finding out that isn't true. He came to fight tonight. He's fighting very confident.
There's that little check hook again. Catches Rakhimov along the ear. I vividly remember Justin Pauldo in the fighter interview that we did a few weeks ago saying, I have world-class skills. And that's what we're seeing so far here in round 1.
So far it's on display. Great round number 1 for Pauldo.
Super sharp work. Steadiness, but
that punch certainly did clip him.
Yeah,
but if the unsteadiness is there, then the mushing of the neck is my issue. Without the mushing of the neck, you're not going to get that nice uppercut there by Pauldo.
I'll call that a judgment call. It's up to the referee. He called it a knockdown, so it's 10-8, round number 1.
I like what Pauldo did there. He measured with the left hand out in front and landed that right uppercut right to the chin. Beautiful shot.
Rakhimov, a slow build kind of fighter, and also, gentlemen, hasn't fought in a year. He's had a year off. He said, I had a new promotion, new team. I've just had stuff going on.
Pauldo's also been not busy, right?
Yeah, same thing. He hasn't fought since the Madueño fight.
What's the difference? Rakhimov looks very rusty. Pauldo looks sharp as a knife.
Oh, another sharp uppercut there by Pauldo. Rakhimov trying to force his way in, but he's going to have to be a little bit more deceptive as Pauldo seems to have his timing well set.
Pauldo's looking surgical. I said sharp as a knife. He's sharp as a scalpel tonight.
Yep, another counter right hand there by Pauldo at short shots.
But it's another guy you said, Chris, when we were talking about this fight, you said he's a front door kind of guy. And we're seeing that look in the total punches. Pauldo landing 23, Rakhimov landing 5 in round number 1.
But the front door guy beat Pauldo last time. Madueño's the front door guy, and the adjustments that Pauldo has made to be able to deal with another front door guy at a much higher level is very impressive.
I'm wondering what the real odds for this fight were, though.
Oh, yeah. Because, it was close, but I think Rakhimov was the favorite.
Right. Yeah, that was as ex-champion. I would think Rakhimov would have been in slightly favor. Nice shots there by Pauldo again, but so far, Pauldo has come out of the gate smoking, and Rakhimov holding position well, but he's not really been able to find the answers.
The way things are going, I'd love to see what the line is on a Pauldo KO, because the punches that he's landing are big.
We want to see a line in general.
Yeah. An accurate line.
Stop! Justin, watch your foot.
I spoke to
Steps on each other's feet.
I spoke to Team Pauldo going into this fight, and actually the father of Justin.
They shuffled again.
You know, what is the difference in this fight? He said, we're going to jab more in between. That's what we needed to do in the Madueño fight. Didn't do it. I agree with them, and we're seeing that here.
Yeah,
a lot of jabs in between.
And that's like I said early in the fight, guys.
Yeah,
he uses that measuring left hand just as a sort of a fencing mechanism to keep Rakhimov from comfortably closing the gap. And while he does that, it's also effectively keeping that middle range to where he can get leverage on his own punches. Pauldo can.
Rakhimov is the kind of guy, though, where he's like, he fights you running downhill.
Oh, nice shots there by Rakhimov.
Once he gets you going, he just unloads with both hands. We haven't seen him get to that position yet.
And if we saw anything in the Madueño fight, you start the question, does Pauldo have a little bit of front runner in him?
Yes.
Or can he maintain? With Rakhimov, you would expect him to continue this pressure, regardless of whether it's working or not at this moment.
Pauldo's so accurate with the right hand so far. Showing that he has a world-class skills. He said, I knew I had him, now the world's going to know. Sure, Rakhimov knows at this point. He's got a fight in front of him.
And we knew he had him, too.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of the consistency. Like, that's the only thing we've been wondering about Pauldo. Rakhimov, not as talented as Pauldo, but one thing he has is consistency. Good body shots there from Pauldo.
Watch your feet, Justin. Break you down, but Pauldo's found a home for that right hand throughout this fight.
You know, Rakhimov has been in with Jojo Diaz, you know, Zelfa Barrett, Joe Cordina. You know, he's got a lot of very quality rounds against world-class guys. Those body shots hurt. That hurt
Rakhimov.
Going back to the body with the right hand again.
Good shots there by Rakhimov.
Although showing his physical strength at 135 pounds, holding the head down.
Mark the referee, caught it. Very intelligent referee there. They're not going to pull the wool over his head.
Mark's one of the best in the game.
You saw Pauldo try to hold the neck with one hand and shoot the uppercut with the other hand.
Pauldo doing a nice, smart move there. Little tactic, stepping on the lead foot of the southpaw, trying to control that position, that front foot battle that you always see with the orthodox southpaw position.
He's been warned about it before, so can't do it too much. The referee, as you said, all over it.
That's a pretty easy one to make it look like it was an accident.
Yeah.
I'm starting to see Pauldo trying to change range a little bit. Is it because he's trying to make a concerted effort to change up the game plan, or is Rakhimov forcing this here? I don't mind if he's making a concerted effort to maybe change range a little bit to keep Rakhimov off balance, as long as he's being first. But if Rakhimov, is Rakhimov is starting to push him back, then it's concerning there on the part of Pauldo. But let's see.
I think Rakhimov is realizing he's just going to have to fight. He can't go tit for tat with this guy. He's too sharp. He's just got to get in the inside. He's going to take some leather, but he's going to be able to land as well. Because he's the guy with all the power. I mean, you look at their knockout percentages: 14 KOs and 17 wins for Rakhimov, 8 wins.
But Rakhimov had them at 130, right?
He had them at 130, yes.
There's a new weight class for him as well. Keep that in mind.
130. I would say 135 when the guys start getting big.
Definitely enough to 135 pounds.
Yeah, he's got a lot of lean tissue on that frame. And a 72-inch reach for a guy who's 5'7". That's a really long arm.
Pauldo jabbing well going backwards here.
This is what was missing in the Madueño fight.
Yeah, you need to be able to jab going backwards if you're going to be a jabber like this. And you see Pauldo showing that. Also, good eyes, just keeping Rakhimov just missing by a string.
A step up in competition, definitely for Justin Pauldo, but so far he has answered the call very, very well. Catching Rakhimov off balance.
Doing good defensively as well. Rakhimov coming on like a tide, though.
Tide! Oh, and it's awful every single time. The problem is we begin round number 4. That damage lasts for a little bit. It starts taking the wind out of you.
That stays with you. You get that spasm in your solar plexus there. But then also, every punch you get hit on there afterwards, it takes less and less to hurt you more.
Sort of stays bruised, right?
Yep. Ooh.
Pauldo still staying busy in round number 4.
Being physical, too. See how he uses that lead arm post.
Yep. It's that same frame style, right?
Yep.
Rakhimov, and he's starting to
you see when
unload a bit.
Pauldo doesn't frame, that's what Rakhimov is able to get in close and starting to do those on that unloading. That frame and that lead hand of Pauldo even measuring prevents Rakhimov from comfortably doing all that stuff. You notice when Rakhimov has some success, it's because of him not framing.
Yeah, and our CompuBox stats here are showing, I mean, you're landing double-digit power punches for Pauldo in all 3 rounds. That's not a good sign for Rakhimov.
Oh, good right hand. Rakhimov wore it well.
Yeah, Rakhimov came back with his own left there for that as well.
Oh, another good right hand.
Man, Rakhimov, he's trying, but he's getting hit with some big shots.
Oh, good short stuff from Pauldo.
Heavy, short, hard.
You know, it's hard to get an Eastern European fighter frustrated, but you can feel the frustration these combinations are landing, Paulie.
Nothing's working.
Yeah.
Rakhimov is game. He's there.
Yep.
He's trying to make it happen, but he's taking so much punishment to get anything done.
He's not used to, at 130, being this guy. He's not used to taking on someone who can physically kind of push him off, big brother him a little bit.
He's usually that guy.
And
He's
Pauldo,
usually that guy, exactly.
And Pauldo is a pretty big lightweight.
Yeah. Big lightweight with long arms. But also with sharp.
Yep. Oh, no, very skilled here. You see the frame there to the neck.
That's what I mean, that big brother, that wrestling, get off me. You can just push the guy off. Psychologically, that does a lot.
And I think Rakhimov is trying to mentally break Pauldo, but Pauldo's not breaking. Pauldo is staying consistent here.
Well, I don't think Rahimov's doing enough to break Pauldo. You mentioned he might be a front runner, but he's way ahead.
And also a lot of the Rakhimov shots are just arm punches. So there's nothing really bothering Pauldo.
Remember, a knockdown in round number 1, controversial or not, it led to a 10-8 round. So Rakhimov really behind the 8 ball in this 4th round.
I believe this is the 4th time we've had Pauldo on our air, and there are times we've seen him where we're like, wow, this is the guy, like we're seeing right now. But then other times we've seen him where we're like, something's missing. Tonight he looks like he's putting everything together.
Straight right hand, beautiful shot from Pauldo.
Ooh, big right hand over the top from Rakhimov.
He said it. He said, this is just another guy in front of me. I'm going to show the world I have world-class skills. So far, that's what he's doing.
You know, Jimmy, I didn't like when we asked Rakhimov about Pauldo, and he's like, I don't know, he's just whatever. I didn't like that response. You know, he seems too confident that he just had this guy. Well, Rakhimov also, he's a momentum guy, and if you can't get any momentum, you can't build on anything.
So we begin round number 5. Oh my God, great stuff from Justin Pauldo in the black. Taking on Shavkat Rakhimov in the red and black.
That's something we're seeing more and more of. Is Pauldo is sitting down his punches, putting more mustard on them because he's comfortable. Like you said, James, he's got arm punches coming his way. Even when he gets hit with something, he comes right back.
Also, you know, as you've seen in previous fights, when you're midway through a fight, he's taking some punches from Rakhimov, hasn't been hurt. He might be going, okay, I can take this. Yeah. I can move forward a little bit. A little more confidence, yeah.
Right hand over the top from Rakhimov there.
But again, it's more arm punches. You know, he doesn't build to a big shot at the end of the combination. You know, sometimes when you put shots together, you build to where the last punch of the combination is the strongest one. You're not seeing that from Rakhimov, even when he puts shots together.
But at this point, when Rakhimov actually lands, he looks more surprised than anything that he actually landed a punch. So he's not ready to build off it.
Yeah.
Round number 4, Pauldo, 41-12 in total punches.
48.8%.
Can't miss.
Nah, that's
can't miss.
You're starting to enter the zone where you're looking at a stoppage. Yeah. When you see 50% punches landed, not a good sign.
But even those straight right hands, no jab, no lead, and they're landing perfectly.
3 in a row.
The only saving grace is Pauldo's not landing putting everything on those shots landing. The reason also Pauldo is landing so accurately because a lot of those shots are little snappy shots, which is still more emphasis than what Rakhimov is. When Rakhimov, a lot of shots look like they're pushing. At least Pauldo, even if he's not putting all the mustard on the shots, they're snappy shots.
Yeah, but champ, there's still a lot of fight left.
Yeah.
We're not even halfway through.
Rakhimov has to come up with something, as you said, Paul. He's eating jabs and straight rights
for
breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
People at home need to understand. You got 8-ounce gloves on. You're getting touched up all night. You're getting hit with these popping, jarring shots. They add up.
Keep in mind, we're pretty sure that Pauldo was the underdog. So this is another ProBox TV fight where you just can't figure out odds makers wise who's the favorite and who's the underdog.
Rakhimov, former IBO and IBF world champion. That was at 130 pounds.
Yeah, legit recognized world champion. Yes. this would be a massive win for Pauldo if he can finish this fight out.
Paulie, the way you described it is, Rakhimov's been in the club, right? He's been in that box of world champions. And Pauldo right now handling him.
He's about to kick the door in.
Also keep in mind, I mean, I'm sure the odds were also close because, you wouldn't be totally shocked with Pauldo winning this fight. Yeah. You can see why Rakhimov would be in favor of Pauldo's the natural lightweight. He's a big lightweight at that. And also, he's shown his quality in his own fights.
He's shown it in spurts on ProBox TV. He has shown it throughout this fight. So we reach the halfway point of our co-main event.
They're singles. They're not, doubles and triples where this fight could potentially be over if you put some punches together. But we're seeing a lot of single hard shots from Pauldo.
But to hit a former world champion with blind right hands, not so much turning him over and hitting him, hit 3 in a row at one point.
I mentioned the ring rust for Rakhimov. We're definitely seeing that. He hasn't really gotten out of that. He hasn't really got out of first gear yet either. But he's taken so much damage by this point.
Yeah, I like those little snappy pot shots there from Pauldo with the right hand. You see Rakhimov he's got to be showing more than the effort. Rahimov's trying to push, but he's not really thinking outside the box as to how he's going to get his offense started. And every time he just tries to push forward, it's Pauldo meeting him with one of these pot shots, snappy pot shots like that.
But Paul, he's almost using his right hand like a jab to kind of keep Rakhimov off balance.
Yeah. But it's snappy, and it's also there's a little bit of hip turn in it, so it's really sharp. We used to use a right hand like that, Floyd Mayweather. He used to use that. He used to vary it in different ways. That was one of the style of right hands that Mayweather used to use at times.
I'll never forget hitting Arturo Gatti 3 straight right hands in a row.
And that's how you can do it. It's that good. Now Pauldo seems to use exclusively that right hand. Mayweather would sort of switch it into a more weight on it, although Pauldo just showed that there as well.
I'll borrow a phrase from Jim Lampley in that fight. This is humiliating. This is getting a little out of hand.
Yeah. Especially for Rakhimov, who's a legitimate ex-world champion. He's being outclassed right now. I guess it's welcome to the new division. Sometimes you move up in weight, man. It's not what you bargained for.
Yeah, I remember moving up to welterweight and being like, wow, these guys are different. Sometimes a couple pounds can be a big difference.
Yeah, because and the issue is he didn't take on a small lightweight. Pauldo is a big lightweight who I wouldn't be shocked if he goes up to super lightweight in the coming years.
When I was talking to his brother Daquan, who was also in his corner, about him, I'm like, man, how does he make the weight? He goes, he makes it fine. He's like, he's a really disciplined guy. He stays in shape year round. I'm like, that makes sense.
He did bring that out when we had the fighter meeting with Pauldo. Pauldo did make that clear. He said, I've been in the gym the whole time. I may have been taking time off, but I've been in the gym the whole time. This level of sharpness shows that. Yeah. Now Rakhimov also coming off a long layoff. I'm not quite sure he's stayed in the gym the whole time with the lack of sharpness he's showing in this fight.
No, I can even see it in his body. He's not as lean. I know he's up a weight class, but still, you move up a weight class, you can still be lean. He's looking like he's carrying a little extra meat around the midsection that I'm used to seeing.
Starting to wear down. That right hand hurt him.
Well, yeah. Again, new weight class, bigger punches too when you get it clean like this.
What did you say about Eastern European fighters? They don't bend, they
break.
just break.
Yep.
Oh, good shot there.
Looks like right now Pauldo trying to break Rakhimov.
That's the thing
about his right hands.
Rakhimov does have power. Even, listen, power's power. You move a weight class short. Sure, the knockouts were at 30. The guy still has power. So he is dangerous, but at this point, he's not really showing a whole lot of it.
He hasn't even gotten the respect, really, of Pauldo. Not just the knockdowns. He hasn't even gotten the respect to keep him off those power shots.
He's actually gotten the opposite. You've seen Pauldo grow as he gets hit.
Pauldo looking very confident as he shoots up from his stool.
It's one thing to get beat up. It's one thing to get stopped. It's another thing to get completely outclassed, especially when you've already been a world champion. And that's what we're seeing here from Rakhimov.
Also, Pauldo, you see the determination of a guy who knows he has world-class talent, but has not yet been able to step into that world-class realm and fight for a world title. And Pauldo's trying to show that tonight against his ex-world champion like Rakhimov. He is the goods, and he deserves his shot in 2025.
Rakhimov trying to get busier, yep.
Yeah, he's coming out this round. Oh, just took a big left hook.
Right hand, left hook combination.
Yeah, and we're into the second half of this fight. We're well into the second half of this fight. We're around 7 now, so if Rahimov's going to make a move for this, make a play for this fight, he's going to have to make a play now.
And he's going to need a knockout.
Yeah, or at least several knockdowns.
He's down 6-0 on mine.
Plus a knockdown that he was dropped in round 1, right?
Oh. Certainly busier in this round number 7.
But all that body work from Pauldo, which has been consistent from round number 1, that's got to take the fight out of you as well. Takes the power away. How much does Rakhimov have in the tank?
Look at these double-digit power punches in every single round. Pauldo, an absolute wipeout over Rakhimov.
He's almost landed 100 more power punches. That's not total punches. That's power punches.
Oh,
And there have been a lot of snap behind those power punches.
Again, you see the position battle by Pauldo. He's not giving up position so that he can put these little pot shots in and then mix them with some shots with a little extra whip on them.
These guys throughout this fight have had the footwork of a sequoia. They've pretty much been standing there trading punches and not trading. Pauldo's landing and Rakhimov isn't.
Guys, when does Rakhimov corner start looking at this fight like this? Not much more we can do here. I mean, he's getting beat from pillar to post. It's, you said his target practice, like shooting fish in a barrel at this point.
Yeah.
And he's not coming back with anything. I don't see a path to get back into the fight.
And there's no really attempts at step over. You see, I feel like there's opportunities for Rakhimov to sort of step over to his right and change the angle. He just sort of stands in front of Pauldo and tries to push that front door in. But that front door is not going anywhere, bro. You're not going to be able to get in the front door against Pauldo. He's going to meet you with punches.
I think he's also tired. It's not just being outclassed. He's been beaten down to the body. He's been taking a lot of punishment to the head. Don't know what his condition is like.
See right here, there's the chance to step over to the right, just give you a big step over, but he doesn't even make an attempt at it. Stays in front of Pauldo, tries to still continue to pry that door open, it doesn't open, and Pauldo finds the opening, not Rakhimov.
Sometimes being tough and having a chin is actually a bad thing. There's a lot of punch. He's taking a lot of damage here.
Sometimes heart and chin just give you a longer beating.
Out of ideas. Which, can happen, but my issue is the corner hasn't come up with any ideas either.
Right. But is it ideas? I think he was out of ideas 4 rounds ago. I think he's out of will now at this point because he's not trying anything else either.
Yeah, there's a step over. That's what I was looking for. And then you can punch off that, but he should do that a little bit more often. There he at least was able to get the angle, get off the ropes. So you got to do that a little more often instead of standing in front of Pauldo.
Another good round for Justin Pauldo.
2025, just like we're on the weekend tonight. We're going to be our ProBox TV series, Contender Series, is going to move on to weekends for the rest of the year. So February 19th will be our last Wednesday night fights. We'll be on Fridays or Saturdays for the rest of the year. I think just Saturdays, right, guys?
Yeah, get used to it. Download the ProBox TV app now.
And guys, we will be going back to our daily shows on the network, so make sure you tune in for those as well. Get to hear from Paulie, myself, Jimmy Smith.
All the boxing news. Everything is fit to show. That's what we're going to do. Round number 8.
Yeah, we're doing a show called Boxing Scene Today. Tune in every day to get your news about the sweet science.
Short, snappy shots by
Pauldo. Tuning in right there.
Speaking of sweet science,
up.
I mean, what Justin Pauldo was able to do tonight has been a thing of beauty.
I mean, just what he said he was going to do. I'm world class. I'm going to show you tonight. He's looked world class.
But, I mean, Rakhimov is world class as well. It's a different level.
And this speaks volumes to the level of Pauldo. Remember, Rakhimov comes in with 1 loss, and he's an ex-world champion. And that one loss was in his world title when he lost his world title in a close, controversial decision. He's being outclassed. He's being outclassed tonight. So this is for the first time in Rahimov's career where he's actually taken a loss where anybody who sees the fight won't mistake this for a loss. Pauldo is making a statement with this fight so far, with this performance so far.
Talk about diamonds in the rough here in ProBox TV.
I gotta imagine other lightweights are looking at this fight and watching it and be like, yo, that guy Pauldo's a problem.
When he shows up like this, he's a problem. It's at times he doesn't show up like this. So are you going to see the consistency?
But one thing he's been consistent throughout this fight, and you said, Paulie, his jab is kind of filled in the mortar, right? There's my God! Big shot! Down goes Rakhimov, staring at the canvas. This might be over. They stopped it. Towel is in. It is over. Justin Pauldo gets the defining win of his career by knockout.
Rakhimov's still having trouble getting up.
They could have counted to 100.
They got to get him a stool.
And Rakhimov would not have been able to get up. He's in bad shape.
He's in bad shape, and he took a lot of punches in this fight, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is how it happened.
Yeah, he catches him along the ropes. Just a beautiful straight right hand that we've seen, and then he followed up. He got behind him. You mentioned the jab. We mentioned the jab. They're going back to it, getting that middle distance jab. He gets him with a 1-1-2, goes right back. 1-1-2. 1-1-2, 1-1-2. That follow-up is what really finished him off there.
Yep. Inside the ProBox TV ring, the official time. 1 minute, 53 seconds of round number 8, damas y caballeros. Dentro del cuadrilátero de ProBox TV, el tiempo oficial. 1 minuto, 53 segundos del octavo asalto. Your winner, by way of knockout, el vencedor por knockout, the $1 Million Man, Justin Pauldo.